Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are making a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So we're working on our save system to finish up for the demo to be ready, right? So yesterday we got our item inventory as well as our global item inventory saving and loading, which is good, but we need a couple more things. So we need the equipped tome, we need the equipped spellcast element, we need the equipped tunic, and we need the unlocked or not unlockedness of those things. So, you know, if you have Flamma and you save it, it should show up in there. Otherwise, it will not show up. So we need to both add that functionality as well as add the saving functionality so that we can save, hey, we've got this tunic equipped, or we don't have this tunic equipped, and it just saves and loads as expected. So that's what we're trying to work on today. We will see how far we can get. We're hoping the demo, I don't know, I'm not going to put a time on it. I keep saying a time, but we're just going to keep chugging along. So we have very few things left for the demo, and this is like the last hard thing that we haven't done before. Everything else is kind of just like other stuff we've already done before. So, except for saving and loading the global state of the world. So that's another issue. Crap. But let's see. So we have this thing, I want to say it's in the player, where it's like, it's called like green tunic unlocked or something. Green tunic unlocked. Okay. So we have this where we say we initialize our player and we initialize green tunic unlocked as true. So let's try if we initialize green tunic unlocked as false. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping it won't be there. You know, we've got it equipped, but if I click on it, it doesn't actually equip the green tunic, and now we can't get it back. So we should have another thing somewhere that we're saying green tunic equipped. Tunic equipped. Because we still have a green tunic equipped somewhere. Tunic equipped. Okay. So right here. Okay. Let's call this player equips. Okay. So we're just going to say, you know what? Tunic is not default equipped and Flamma is not default equipped, and let's just make sure that carries over. Okay, we don't have the green tunic equipped. Flamma is still there and equipable, so that one's not working. So we'll have to make sure Flamma is only... And this one's kind of a unique case because you get Flamma right at the beginning of the game, but in the very first playable scene of the game, you're in your room and you can walk around and get the loot. And if they figure out that you can pause it, Flamma would technically be in their inventory and they can equip it, which is not correct. So we just have to make the trigger for Flamma equipped or Flamma unlocked over when they actually get it from Mage. Flamma unlocked, maybe it is. Okay, yeah. So see, so we're saying Flamma's unlocked right here. Okay, so the good thing is, I think this is working functionally in the item inventory. Yes. So see, I can click on Flamma, but nothing happens, and I'm spellcasting right now and nothing's happening. So it's looking correct. So at least functionally, these things are working. I guess this is in the player. Where's the player equip? It's in the play state. Okay. And it's on our player, but then where is it unlocked? In the inventory or on the player? It's on the player. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that I put it on the player just because it's like, yeah, I've got global access to the player. I could just tweak it and toggle it. Okay. So this is close. So what's cool is all we have to do is save whether or not these two things are unlocked, and also save whether or not these two things are equipped, and copy over the appropriate value for our save and load, which I don't think will be that tough. Famous last words, but let's go to our save data. We're looking for our save data method right here. So we want to create a key. And we want to create a key for these things, like, let's just worry about Flamma first. So we'll say Flamma unlocked. And we'll save whether or not Flamma unlocked. Right? And we say Flamma equipped. And we can say, okay, well, let's load the player. Maybe it isn't. It's not Flamma equipped, it's element equipped, I think. It is element equipped. Okay. I guess we can say, well, if the player's dot element equipped is equal to Flamma. Is that what it is? Did we really just crash? Element equipped Flamma, yeah. Okay. That looks right. So we can say, well, if Flamma's equipped, we really did just crash. It's so annoying, dude. Okay, so we're just going to save it as a boolean. Are we still dropping frames? Okay. Well, there's a thunderstorm right now, so I'm hoping we don't crash. Okay. So, I kind of don't like this, because it's nice that we can just have the boolean straight up or Flamma unlocked. But we have this based on element equipped. So we have to kind of evaluate the string first. If so, we want Flamma equipped key to be equal to true. Okay. So I guess the next thing to do is to load from these keys either Flamma unlocked or Flamma equipped. So when we load, we're just going to say if the key of our saved data deserialization is Flamma equipped, then we're going to actually, yeah. Then we're going to say if the V is equal to true, which I think we can just say if V, right? If V is true, then we want to say that our players dot element equipped is going to become Flamma. Then if the key is equal to Flamma unlocked, then I think we do this where we just say if it's true, because it's a Boolean we're evaluating, right? Are there any other save datas that's a Boolean? Well, we saved this health potion unlocked. So how do we do health potion unlocked? If the key is health potion unlocked, then we take the value and put it into the health potion unlocked bool. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense for a bool, but for this one, which is a string, we kind of have to do something like that, where we say if the V is true, if the value in Flamma equipped is true, then we want to put Flamma into the element equipped string. Then if Flamma's unlocked, then we're going to copy over into the Flamma unlocked. Really? Yeah, Flamma unlocked. We're going to copy the value into Flamma unlocked. Okay, so now we want to do a test, right? We want to make sure we can load this. Loading the data comes from the title screen, so we kind of just have to boot from the title screen still. So let's do that. And we'll make a little shortcut button for us where when we press something in the play state, we will get a certain result. So we're looking for so what we're going to do is just do a little keyboard check, and if we press the F key, we're going to equip and unlock Flamma, just so we can test saving and loading, right? So we don't want to default it, but we do want to allow us to be able to do this. So we're going to say Flamma unlocked is now true, and the element that is equipped is now equal to that of Flamma. So let's check out if this works. We should have nothing equipped, nothing unlocked. But if we hit F, we've got it both equipped. Let's test, we can spellcast, and it is unlocked as well. So we can toggle it on and off. We also need to toggle the not the mini map, but the, what do we call this part of the map? He's carrying the element, but it wasn't there until we unequipped it, then re-equipped it. So that is a mistake. So I might want to try to figure that out real quick too, just so we don't forget that. I believe that is in the pause state, and it should be, if we look at the render when we're doing some Flamma stuff, element equipped is Flamma. We're going to set the color to the inventory. We're going to render a character element. That's not the one in the hand though. render our player, render our tunic, render the element that is equipped in the HUD, actually in the equipable. Then we're saying render the item that's equipped. What is this? Draw Ruby. Oh, okay, that's our Ruby inventory. We're looking for the little square that we're rendering in our player's hand, essentially, which I thought would be over here. But we're rendering an actual... What is this character element? Because we're setting the color. I feel like it's right here, but let's turn this off and see what happens. Because either this is the element that's now unlocked, so we're going to hit F to give us Flamma, and it's still there. Okay, so it is the one that is rendering. So, dude, where is this character element texture? I think this is just a 2x2 white square, and we just render it. Inventory player X and inventory player Y. I want to just see if we like add maybe like 6 pixels to this, if it does move the element in our hand, because it just, I don't believe that's the same thing we're touching. Okay, it is. It is that. Okay. So this just isn't getting set, or this isn't, for whatever reason, this isn't rendering. Once the player element equipped is Flamma, it doesn't render until we equip and then unequip. Because see, look, we'll do this, and we'll see if it appears in our hand too. See, it doesn't appear in our hand either. It should appear in our hand. So when we hit, let's see what the bool is for when we hit action. Really? Because there's like one more boolean that is actually equipping it on the player that we're missing. Because there it is. Because now it's in our hand, right? But when we just hit L, it didn't get this. So it is the action button in the play, not in the play state, in the pause state. So what? We just don't have... What the heck? How are we actually equipping it if we're not using the action button? What the heck, dude? It's not in the pause state, apparently. So we have to just find where we're saying element equipped is getting assigned. I can't imagine it being anywhere else, though. Oh, in our inventory class. This is a little weird. This doesn't quite make sense to me. Because all we're doing is saying element equipped. Okay, so it is kind of weird because we're able to hit, so like with nothing equipped, we hit F, and then we can cast spells. So it is equipped, but it's not rendering on our person. It should show up in Tashio's hand, the red spell. So we're missing something. So maybe that's in the player class where we're rendering. I don't know. See, like we do this again. We render a character element if the element equipped on the player is out and we're not actively pushing. That is so weird because all we're doing is checking this element equipped when all we're doing with F is saying element equipped gets Flamma. So why does it not render? Well, maybe because the element color isn't set. So we might have to just set the element color right here. So where are we setting this element color? Because I bet if we were to put, I mean, we can test it. If we were to put like a random color in there, it would probably just start showing up. Element color, transparent. See? It gets initialized as transparent. Okay. So yeah, we just need to take the element color of our key item to be whatever it is when we say... Do we have a Flamma color? Yeah, we do have a Flamma color. Okay. So yeah, once we hit F, just like this, we have to say, let us go into the F press. And the last thing we need is to just say that our key item inventory element color is going to get the Flamma color when we press F. That should get it to be which which build did you play? Did you play the web build for H for help? I think that's something I do as just like all of my games have a H for help, but I have that's not supposed to be in the game. It's supposed to be part of the tutorial. So like the very first part of the scene teaches you how to interact and walk around and stuff. So that's not going to be in the web build, or that's in the web build, but not going to be in the final game because the very first level shows you a little library of all the controls and stuff. So it's just one of those things that, like, if you happen to know H for help, it can. I popped something on there, but I think even the directions on there are out of date too. And the web build is I think 2 or 3 months old at this point. So we're focusing on the demo build, and then once the demo's done, I'll go back and optimize the web build for the demo, and then I'm gonna abandon the web build maintenance, because it's just too much work with all the other stuff going on. But hopefully we can get the demo done, and then the website can have the full demo. Okay, I hit F, and now we can see it in our hand, which is good. And it's also in our hand over here. So that's looking correct. So we just have to remember that if we go to equip it, we need to also equip the key item color. So this, I guess we have to copy over the key item inventory element color as well then, because there's only one white square that is in charge of being the element in his hand, and the color's determined by what is equipped. So we just have to feed in the color in the save data too, because we need to know which color to load. So I think we'll have to add that to the save data as well. So I'm going to call this key item element color. And we're going to pull in the element color from the key item inventory. And then when we go to load, we need to also pull the same stuff. So we're going to say if the key is equal to the key item element color, then we're going to take our key item inventory element color and assign it to be the value we stored from the serialization. Okay. So yeah, we copy over the element color into the load function. And the element color, yeah, I guess this is just, you know, what's really being stored here is a constant called Flamma color, but then that gets decomposed into the RGB and alpha. Okay, so I think we're ready to test because, I mean, I guess I think we're ready to test. So let's try booting up the game. Now we don't have Flamma equipped. But we booted the game and we don't have it equipped or unlocked. So we can click it, it doesn't do anything. We can try to spellcast, it doesn't do anything. So I'm just gonna unlock it and equip it, which now we can toggle it on and off. And we can also spellcast, and if we don't have it on, we can't spellcast. So this is working. So now we're gonna do what is FSM? Oh, dude, I am a bad programmer. I have no idea what I'm doing. I know I'm sure there's a better way than if proliferation land, but that's the land I'm living in at the moment. My whole mentality has been like finite state machine. I don't know. I'm sure there's better ways to do it. But it's like the if works. The if works. Okay, we didn't save it. We got to save it and then we'll test the load. So right now when we load, we don't have it equipped and it is not even unlocked. So we're going to equip it, unlock it, and save. Now we're going to quit and we're going to try again. Why does my freaking bar still come up? Okay, it's equipped. It's equipped. It got the right color. It's equipped in the inventory slot. Sweet. This is all correct. This is great. Okay, so this is one step. We've got the element save and load working, which is great. Now we just need the tunic and the tome also. So let's test one thing at a time with the tunic. Same way we did this, because this is technically working. So that is very good. Yeah, I mean, I don't like if land. I really don't. I don't think it's pretty or cool, but it's pretty cool that it works. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. I'll give you that. Let's do green tunic. So instead of F doing, we tested, I thought we tested the green tunic. Let's test the green tunic actually. So like when we go to do this F press, let's make sure that this is actually doing a green tunic unlocked. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for sending that. I'll bookmark that. Tunic equipped string. Okay, so but what about unlocked? So it's tunic equipped, and then it's a string, and then we need tunic unlocked. So is that green tunic unlocked on the player class? Okay, so we're gonna say green tunic is now unlocked, so it appears in our inventory system. No, you're good, you're good. I'll check it out. And then green tunic unlocked, and then we also want to say tunic equipped is now green tunic. Those should be the only thing we need for this test. So let's see, if we hit F, we should have the green tunic on, and it should appear in our inventory system. So let's see. So we've got the normal tunic on right now. There is no green tunic, and if we click on it, nothing happens, which is correct. And then we hit F. Now we have our green tunic equipped, and it is also equipable in the item slot. So that's all working. So now let's just do the same thing with the save and load. It is both a tunic equipped and a green tunic unlocked. So we'll go back to if land on our save player data method. And we'll say, okay, we have a key called tunic equipped, and is gonna get a string of the player dot tunic equipped, and we have a green tunic unlocked key that is going to stand for the players dot green tunic unlocked boolean. Then tunic equipped. This is an empty string if no tunic's equipped. So we might want to do, well, that's okay. Let's continue on to our load. Go back to if land over here. Okay, so if the key's equal to this green tunic, green tunic unlocked, then we're going to copy into our player, into the green tunic unlocked, the value that we pulled from that load, and if the key is a tunic equipped, then we're going to copy into the player dot tunic equipped. We're going to copy over the string value that hopefully was saved in there. Now, are we doing something weird? I don't think we need the if v up here, because if it is actually, if Flamma equipped, I don't think we have to have this if v, because all we're doing is putting Flamma into the element equipped, and the if v would mean if it's not an empty string, but we'd want to copy it if it's an empty string anyway. I think we can take this out, but I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to do that just yet. I just want to get the green tunic working. So tunic equipped gets the value stored into tunic equipped. So let's try to save a green tunic being equipped and unlocked. So if we just play our game, we should have no tunic equipped and the green tunic, oopsie. Attempt to index save data a nil value at 131. Did we just... Oh, this is just wrong. Okay. So we're going to see, we should have it not equipped here. Okay, so it's not equipped and it's not unlocked. We can't equip it if we... And I messed that up. Okay, so it's not equipped or unlocked. If we hit F, we get it equipped and unlocked because now it is toggleable in the inventory system. Let's leave it on for the save because we're testing the save and load for the tunic now. So we're going to save it. It says it was saved. Let's see if we load with our tunic both equipped and unlocked. So let's see. Okay, it's equipped. It's unlocked. Great. Okay, so we have saving and loading for both the tunic and the spellcast item, which is really good. And let's make sure we can push things because if our green tunic is equipped, we should be able to push a crate. So let's go try that real quick just to make sure. So let's see. Okay, so that does work. And if we were to unequip it, let's see. Can we push it? No. Okay. That's right. Okay, so we do need to put in the game... Uh-oh. We need to put in the game that green tunic becomes unlocked once you open this. Oh, we're rendering the loot for the show-off still. Yeah, I think we just want to not render the loot layer if we're in a player show-off. So once we open the green tunic, we need to have green tunic unlocked. It's just one of those things, like I never know those types of bugs until I just encounter them, and I'm like, well, it makes sense. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah, I guess we can try to just fix that now. So we need to do two things. We need to unlock the green tunic by the time we open a treasure chest with a tunic inside. And we also need to stop rendering our loot if we're in the player show-off state. So where do we have the green tunic item? What do we do this? I think it's in here. We should have a green tunic. No. Oh, tunic of strength. Okay, so the treasure chest of green tunic. So when we open our treasure chest, if the contents are green tunic and we open chest, we want to say, well, now the if the contents are a green tunic, then we want to copy over into the player dot green tunic unlocked the value true so that it becomes unlocked. So let's make our F press actually unequip our tunic so that we can test this out. So we're gonna say that this is actually unequipping it, because now that we saved it, now it's equipped, but we want to unequip it. So we're just gonna say green tunic is not unlocked and it is not equipped if we press F. So let's test that so we can just undo what we've done so that we can test opening the treasure chest in the dungeon with it. So let's see. Okay, so let's hit F and unequip it. Okay, we're naked. We cannot equip it here because it is not unlocked. If we go in here, oh, we have to go the long way because we can't push a boulder without the green tunic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You can't push anything without the green tunic, so we have to break this. Okay, we gotta go the long way. Okay, I'm gonna unequip the loot just so we don't see the mistakes of our ways. Okay. Alright, so green tunic is not unlocked. Once we hit this, it says we found the tunic of strength. Heavy objects now feel light when you push them. We should probably equip it, huh? We should probably equip it. It is unlocked and equipable, but we should probably just equip it for the player so that they can go right into pushing. So I think I like that. That's good. It works though. Let's say that we want to say green tunic is unlocked, and let's just go ahead and equip it also. I think this would render it as we're holding it above our head. I think it'll render on our chest if we do it right here. Tunic equipped is the green tunic once we open the chest. I guess it depends. We'll have to see. We have to go the long way unless we cheat. We'll cheat real quick. So all we got to do is push this thing. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. It's just that like the text that it says now heavy things feel light, and I want it to be very clear that the tunic is what makes you able to push things. So I think if we equip it, then they can push the boulder that's like right next to them, and then they can kind of figure it out. But I'm gonna unequip. Oh gosh, I gotta kill this guy. Let's unequip it now that this is open. So we don't have the tunic available. We're gonna try to click it. See, it does equip it right away. Okay, so I don't know if I like that. I kind of want it to... I don't like seeing the tunic twice, right? One in your hand and one on your body at the same time. So we might want to do this... I guess we just want to do this... See, it's tough because the open chest method doesn't have anything to do with the dialogue box other than it activates it. So we don't really have a method to say if by the time we're done advancing a dialogue box to then change which tunic's equipped. I don't know what the move is here. I guess for now I'll have it so you have to equip the tunic yourself after notification callback. You mean like to say like to add part of the dialogue box that says open your inventory to equip the green tunic sort of deal? Maybe I'll just... I think what I'll do is just change the wording on the dialogue box, because we don't want... Did we take this out already? Tunic equipped, yeah. So we'll unlock it when we open it, but I think in the... Right here we'll say heavy objects now feel light when you wear this. You know, it's kind of tricky because the we don't have a parameter to pass into a dialog box solely for treasure chest items. So I can see that getting really messy, and I don't really want to clog up every dialog box option with a one-time green tunic equip upon closing sort of deal. So I think for now I'll just leave it like this, and then I might think of a better callback method like you're saying later on. Because I also you know, because like if they open it and they just get the tunic on, then they might not know they can take it off or switch tunics. So by their first experience of the tunic, them having to go in and actually equip it, that might actually be better. But I don't know. It's all kind of personal, I guess. Default params. I don't know what you mean for what. Anonymous function. I don't know. The dialog box is a I'm using a library to like introduce classes, so we can write like a function to the dialog box class, but I'm not sure what you mean by the anonymous function. Okay, I think I like this. I think the last thing we need is the tome equipped and the tome unlocked. So let's see. If param wasn't passed, defaulted to false. Yes. Yeah, there's a way to do that. Yeah, there's a way to do that. Okay, so we have a Tome 1 unlocked on our player. Tome 1 unlocked. But then we have an equipped, a Tome equipped, don't we? Tome equipped. What the heck? Tome equipped is on the loot class? What? No, that's something different. That's for the actual sheet music. Yeah, see how this... It's part of our key item inventory. So this is where we kind of broke... Player equipped. Pass that as a callback param. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think I see what you're saying. I don't think I'll implement that. I think by the time we get another tunic, I think I'll make that decision if we want to automatically equip it or not. So we do kind of break the consistency here of putting the tome equipped onto the item inventory. But also, oh, see, this is a little much. Okay, so when the tome is equipped in our inventory, regardless of what this is this regardless of key item? Oh, just it is a key item. Okay, so this is where we have to say whether or not the tome's equipped. Let's take this out for now. You know, let's put the let's say that there's no tome equipped so that we can just test and make sure that just that's working when we just control the toggles, and then we'll worry about saving it. So right now there's no tome equipped and no tome unlocked. We can't equip it, and that means if we boot up our loot, there is no music scrolling. There's no music scrolling. We have to also pause the music for the game when we enter the loot state too. That's something I just did not do. I also want to fade the music. I don't want it to just cut off in one instant. So that's another thing we got to do for the demo. For now, Tome 1 equipped. I want to spawn us over where the Tome treasure chest is, which is, I think it's right here. Yeah, it's 7.5, I believe. So let's spawn us in 7.5 so that we can test getting the tome and testing it. 7.5. Yeah, we want to go 7.5. We did not spawn in 7.5 because we loaded the game. So let's just... Yeah, we loaded the game. So I guess what we can do is just say... I don't know. We're going to use our magic F button again. And just say our scene view gets overwritten with 7.5 when we press F. Okay, so we just did some hacks. Okay, so there's the tome. We just opened it. And it is now equipable. So now if it's equipable, now when we pull up the loot, yes, it does play our music. So that's good. So that's looking right. It looks like our two tome values are doing things right. Well, because it should be tome unlocked, and let's test it, because it's like if F is pressed here, we're gonna say the key item inventory dot tome equipped is gonna get tome 1. But we also have tome unlocked, right? Tome unlocked? No? Tome 1 unlocked on the player. See, I don't like that we did half of this on our player still, like the rest of our convention, but then we have the tome equipped as part of the key item inventory, which is just so weird. We might just move that so it's consistent again. But tome 1 unlocked is part of the player. So let's say the player dot tome 1 unlocked is going to get true. Okay, so we're going to say tome is equipped. That should toggle it for the loot music, and unlocked should toggle it in the inventory system to actually be able to equip it and unequip it. So let's see. So before we do that, it's not equipped and not unlocked, and if we try to play loot, it just gives us the free mode. If we hit F, wow, that loaded. We didn't reload our animatables. That's okay, that's not game breaking, that's just like me doing this wrong. But now it is unlocked, but it is not equipped, it looks like. Because if we pull up... Oh, it is equipped, it's just not rendered as equipped. Okay, because now it's equipped. And now it rolls that through. Okay, so what controls the tome equipped in our pause state? We should have tome equipped in the pause state. Or it could be in the inventory. Tome equipped on the inventory. Okay, so the inventory needs it for rendering. The player needs it for the loot needs it for the scrolling, and the... Okay, so let's just put it No, this is the inventory. Yeah, that is the inventory. The loot initialized with the tome equipped nothing. I'll check out that FSM stuff. Okay. Tome equipped. Tome 1. Tome equipped. Tome 1 on the inventory system. Is that what's rendering? See, I'm a little worried about this, that the loot init has a tome equipped of an empty string, but because I guess, well, where do we use this tome equipped, this self tome equipped? We don't even use it. We don't even use it. Because it's not on the loot. Okay, I don't think we need that. Let's just see. Okay. Nothing scrolling. Okay, so it is what the heck? It's equipped. It just doesn't render as equipped in our pause state. So let's just double check when we render the tome 1. Where do we even render this thing? In the inventory? Yeah. If the tome 1 equipped is true on our inventory, which inventory, we aren't setting the color, so that might be an issue. Maybe green tunic, tome 1. If tome 1 is equipped on the inventory, which we have 2 inventory items, and pressing F changes our tome equipped to be tome 1 for our key item inventory. Does that mean tome 1 equipped? Oh, tome equipped. It's tome, wait. Tome 1 equipped is on the inventory. Tome 1 equipped is on the inventory. So tome 1 equipped is a boolean on the inventory, right? And then tome 1 unlocked is on the player. Okay, so the inventory gets the tome 1 equipped and the player gets tome 1 unlocked. Okay, so we can play... Uh-oh. That was... my bad. I'm just trying to prove that the right stuff is scrolling on. So the tome is not unlocked or equipped, and we have free mode play on the loot here. So let's unlock and equip our tome, which we do have it equipped and unlocked. And now we have the music. Oh, come on, dude. It should have been this. It should have started a scroll on here. Let's try it again. Okay, so something we're missing something that is triggering it, which, dude, this drives me crazy. We're missing something that's triggering it, and it could have been the thing we just deleted, because it didn't break until we deleted that thing, which was Tome equipped. I don't think so. Tome 1 equipped. Okay, so we just have to find what the base notes are looking to be. The base notes are getting triggered if the tome equipped is equal to tome 1. It is that thing. So this is a little jacked up, but we have to say, dude, okay, that's a little stupid. But basically we're saying tome equipped gets assigned tome 1, the string. Okay, so it's like this is for the notes. This is for the unlock, and this is for the rendering of the this is for the little picture by Tashio's head, which probably should be on the player class, not on the item inventory, but I guess it doesn't really matter. And then the tome 1 unlocked boolean on the player. Okay, so this should be it. And then we just need to save this stuff. Okay. Yes, we can equip it. And then now if we go to play, we have the notes. That's good. Yo, thanks for hanging, Melanith. Yo, have a good night. Oh no. Oh no. I want to play this song. Oh. Sweet. Okay. Now we just need to add these 3 changes to when we open the chest and the contents are tome 1 to make sure that that works in game for the actual unlock. So these are the things we need in the treasure chest. When the contents are, actually it's in the open chest method, yeah. When the contents are tome 1, we do this, which was only 1/3 of the equation. So we also need to equip the tome, and the tome 1 equipped gets true. That's kind of gross, but that works. So let's do, now we just need to add this to the save, and then we can test it. And then we'll have all the key items saving and loading, which completes all of the inventory saving and loading. And then the last thing we need is like the overworld stuff, like the water cleanse or the shortcut to the desert. Those are, I think, the only 2 things we need to save in the overworld. That and maybe the gecko spawns being corrupted if the demo area is still corrupted. So we need to save these 3 things. So let's go to our save player data method, and we need 3 things to save. And those things are, we want a key called player tome 1 unlocked. And we're going to snag that from the player tome 1 unlocked. Then we need the key item tome equipped. It's actually from our global key item inventory .tome equipped. We're going to copy that into our save data table. Then we need a key for the key item tome 1 equipped boolean. And we're going to say that that is pulled from the global key item inventory tome 1 equipped bool. Okay. So now that we have those three, now we need to load these three back into the game. So when we load, we go to if land, and if the key is this player tome 1 unlocked, then we're going to go into that player's tome 1 unlocked field and copy over the value that was saved. If it is key item tome equipped, then we're going to go to our key item inventory and pull the string of whatever tome was actually equipped. I believe that triggers the song. That triggers the song, and then equipped is whether or not it shows up in the inventory, which we also need. So we're going to say that we're also checking this key item tome 1 equipped, and that's a boolean, and we're going to copy from our key item inventory. We're actually going to copy into our tome 1 equipped. Tome 1 equipped. We're going to copy over the value that we saved. Okay. So we should have the tome saving and loading now. So let's try it. If we default load it, we might have to go, we have to fix our spawn. So what we're going to do is, instead of, we're going to test two things. We're going to test unlocking the tome, equipping it, using it, then saving, and then loading. Because right now we are only testing a little bit of that. So let's go to our main, and we want to go into the, instead of changing to the title screen, we're just going to change into the play state, which should load us over where we said to spawn at a 7.5. So we spawn at a 7.5, that's good. We don't have anything equipped actually, which is that makes sense because we turned off the load. So we can toggle back on our loot if we want to test this, which we do want to test it. So we're going to have to just toggle on our loot and remember to take it off before we commit so that we can go back to the loading. But we need, I think I called it equip. Loot equip. Or player equips. Yes, so let's say, oh no, we need the loot. Where's the loot? We don't have the loot equip. Oh, loot obtain is what I call it. I should. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna say we want the loot unlocked so that we can equip it and test the tome. So we're gonna give ourselves the loot. We're not loading the game anymore. We're just going into the play state. So we can equip our loot. We have the play mode, replay mode. Now let's test the tome. We open it. We're still rendering a loot in the show off, which isn't right, but we get the tome. Now it is both equipped and unlocked. So this is one of those things, I guess we could choose to be consistent with the tunic and not equip it until you go into the menu and equip it. Or we automatically equip it so that the next time you try to play the loot, the music comes on screen and they can unequip it if they want. I guess to stay consistent, we should probably just not have them equip it, but also it's not, it's a not very common mechanic in a game to have the different sheet music scroll on screen, so I might just leave it equipped. I don't know. Let's see if it works. It does work. Okay. So the music does scroll on. Yeah, free mode works if the tome is not equipped. Okay. So that's seemingly working. So let's try to save it and see if the tome... Gosh, we have to save it and then change the code. Oh, we need our green tunic. We can't push the shortcut without the green tunic, man. Okay, we want to go back. This is a bit much. We have to test it, though. We have to know that it's working, so we've got to go back to the equips and take... Dude, this sucks. No, it's... I guess we can make L equip our tunic again. Or F. Yeah, let's make this turn on our tunic again. And for right now, L will not do anything else, because we're testing very specific things. So we're gonna say, dude, what the heck? Yes. Okay, so F will unlock our green tunic so we can get on the other side so that we can save it. But then we have to remember to not only change the state machine, but also turn off the loot equip, or yeah, the loot equip. Okay, so let's play. We'll go to the right spot, we'll get the tome, we'll equip our loot, we'll make sure the tome works, which it does. Okay. So we need to get the tome, we need to save it, then we need to change the play state, then we need to take off the loot equip, then we need to try to load it. So let's do that. Okay, we got the tome. It works. Let's go save it, because we need to press F and magically get the tunic so that we can push this. And then now we can save it. And we have it equipped and unlocked. So we're going to save it. Now we're going to go back and we've got to do two things. We've got to go to the loot equip. I guess we don't have to do that. We don't have to turn off the loot equip, but I just don't want anything making unforeseen problems, you know? So we turn off the loot equip. Now we need to go into main and change our state machine to title state so that we can load the game proper. Okay. Let's see. Tome 1 is equipped and unlocked. And it works. Dude. That's exactly what we need. Okay. So I guess the last thing is like a choice, right? Where we have to say, you know what, when we do this open chest method on the treasure chest, if it's tome 1, like we want tome 1 to be unlocked, but we don't want tome 1 to be equipped. I think that's fair. Just to be consistent. Like, it's kind of nice that you get the tome and then the next time you play the music, it will scroll on. But I kind of want them to know that you've got to equip it. Because there's multiple tomes. So, like, you gotta equip the right one for the job. So, tome equipped is tome 1. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this and let's do it so that we go back to main and we go back to a play state, because we don't want to load what we just loaded. We want to test a save. I think what we want to do, yeah, we want to test when we get this if it's still in free play mode, so we have to actually go put back on our loot equip. So we got the loot back, so let's test equipping it and getting the tome and seeing if we're still in free play. Once we get the tome, we got the tome. It is not unlocked. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so that's right. That's right. Okay, so you have to equip the tome in order to get the sheet music. I think that's fair, especially because that's how we're doing it with the tunic. Yeah, and then the saving is working on that, so that is looking right. So, do we have... Okay, this is getting tough because we don't like to... Guess it just depends on what we load, because when we go to save our loots, you know, we're not trying to initialize a loot in grid 1-1. We're trying to just load where the loot was on last save. So we probably just need like a default save with all the items equipped that we can just restore from if we accidentally screw up the save and then don't have certain things like a loot, because we don't want duplicates of any of these things. I guess the first thing we can do is just test. Actually, what we could do is give us a loot and a health potion and save it, and then it'll carry over. So let's just like unlock the tome. We've got the green tunic equipped. So then if we save it at this point, and what we could even do is equip. Oh, we need Flamma unlocked. Yeah, we need Flamma unlocked before we save it too. Okay. I believe in our F press we have a Flamma. No, we don't. Okay, let's do this. So we're just gonna kind of give ourselves all the items, like the tome and the tunic and the spellcast elements, and we're gonna save this. So we're gonna go in here. We're just gonna equip the loot anyway. Save it. Okay, now we got... See, in this, dude, there's gotta be a better way to do this, because this is just like so tedious to remember that now we've got to go into our loot equip and make sure we don't actually do that. Yeah, we have to turn off this now that we saved it. We'll make a backup of this save file and commit it just so it has all the proper items, just because this sucks to debug. Yeah, it's not fun. So I think for the most part, we'll just stay in the play state and not load the save data until we're at the stage ready for testing and making sure it actually works, and then we'll worry about it. Then we'll go right back to play state so we don't have to deal with this. But we'll make a certain grep string search so that we can easily find where we insert things like the item or the Flamma equipped and all that stuff. So let's go back to title state and make sure we load the right game. So let's see. Okay, we've got our stuff equipped. We got our stuff unlocked. Cool. So it's seemingly working. Let's back up. Let's back up our save data. Yeah, let's just back this up. We'll call this have items. I don't know. Okay. Now that doesn't get committed. That's just part of the repo. Okay. This is looking right. So I think we've got everything we need for the inventory system. Saving and loading, which is pretty awesome. So we have both our item slot and our key item slot saving and loading. We have our normal item inventory saving and loading, and we have our key item inventory saving and loading, as well as our rubies and our coins. So that's actually, yeah, do we load our ruby count and coin count? Let's just double check that. Do we save ruby count and coin count? Yeah, we do. We do save and load it. Okay, so now I think the last thing I want to do is just make sure that we don't render the loot in a player show off. So let's just go to our, what even state? Is it in the state machine? There's a player change animation show off and a boolean to go with it. So whenever we go to our player, see like this walk state, if it's not show off, we render, what the heck? If player show off, then we do our green tunic show off. Now, where is our loot render? We don't have this player show off for our loot render. We have the loot equip. If we're not pushing, we render the loot equip. Yeah, we want to do this. Also, we want to also say, and the player has to be show off false. So not show off, then we want to render our loot. So now let's test having our loot equipped and opening a treasure chest and see if that's working. So we got our loot equipped. Let's go to this treasure chest. I still see the loot somewhat, right? That looked weird. Okay, I still think I saw it. But this is where, rendering this, this is also in the walk state, not the idle state. So we might need it in the idle state too. We have idle state, cinematic state, idle state. Cinematic state is like where we lock the player so that our movements don't affect the player. So like our inputs don't move the player. So it might be in this one too. So we're going to say render the loot equip only if we're not pushing and we're not actually show off. Then we want to render our loot. And same with the idle. Because if there's no input and we open, we still need it on idle. So idle, also the same deal here. And not show off. Okay, let's test that. Okay, we've got the loot equipped. Let's test opening up a treasure chest. Nice. It does equip right away still. Or maybe not. I think we had it equipped when we got here. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna test unequipping it, opening it with a loot. Uh-oh. We need to equip it to use the shortcut. Oh, don't kill me, don't. Okay, we got the loot equipped. We open it up. It looks right, but we didn't test. We gotta take the green tunic off before we open it. So let's see. We're gonna just catch this guy as he comes out. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Let us unequip the green. We've got the loot equipped. No green tunic on. We open it. We still have the correct tunic on. We got the green tunic. And then we don't render the loot. That's looking right. And then we can equip it and push things. Okay. Okay. The only thing is it looked like it kind of freaked out for a second there. Right when we ended the dialogue box, because it not only changed the animation but also changed the direction. So I'm just wondering if there's a better optimization there. So let's see. So let's see if he kind of flips out. He does kind of flip out a bit. Before we change animation, actually I'm not sure where we do that. Are we doing... Because at some point we're changing our direction. Actually, hold on. Because maybe the move is once we show off, we just change our direction downwards so that when we resume the game, we're already facing downwards because he was facing downwards, so he doesn't have to flip in like 1 second. Because right here, when I advance through this, he faces upwards still, which makes sense because that's why you left. But also, he's kind of facing down when he shows off, so maybe we just change the direction to down once we open chest. And that might make that look a little smoother. So we open the treasure chest. Do we change the player's direction? I don't see us doing that. We change the animation. So let's just say that our direction is now downwards. That's like which place we're facing. Let's just see if that works. Okay, we open it up. Takes off our loot. We've got this. Let's see if we face down still. Yes, we do. That does look smoother. That does look smoother. I think I'm okay with that because it does turn us around to open it. I guess the only issue would be if we try to open a crate from the side. It would still face us down, but that's okay because the show off is us facing down. Okay, I think that makes sense. I think that's all good. Okay, let's check our get diff here. Okay, we took off the automatic tome equip. I don't think we need that loot. Yeah, I don't think we need that loot tome equipped anymore. But basically all we did was add save and loading to all the key items in our inventory. So we added the save and load for all those things. And then we also... equipped, or we made opening a treasure chest unlock the green tunic as well as the tome, and then we fixed that show off bug, and then with the loot equipped, we only render the character, not the loot, when we're in show off mode, and then we're spawning on this other scene, and we took out these default equips because now we're loading them, and we don't want any duplicates. and then we have our F button do some loads for any tricky things like a, you know, Flama unlocked or Tunic unlocked, anything like that. So let's just say that we added add save and load for all key items. That is huge that works. So we've got to figure out a little bit of polish for the music system, right? Because if we equip the loot, we need our overworld music to fade down to nothing so you can hear the loot music, and then when you resume it needs to fade back up. So we need that, as well as a scene transition. It should probably fade instead of just cut and start. So we might do like a quick half-second fade out and fade in for that. I'm kind of thinking we might do that tomorrow, just because it's kind of bugging me, and I think it would be nice to have that. And then, now that we've got saving and loading working, we have to save and load the overworld with the cleansed water and the shortcut unlock. So we need to be able to save and load that persistent world stuff, because the end of the demo is you cleansing the water, and then when you save and come back, the water should still be cleansed, because it's kind of like a per biome basis that you can cleanse the corruption in each area. So that's going to be next is the saving and loading for the global stuff, as well as the sound, the soundtrack fading in a bit smoother. So we'll commit that, and we'll push, and we will run credits and find someone to raid. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll find someone to raid. Let's see. Finn is on. Yo, we haven't raided Finn in a while. Oh, he's away. He's away. We can surprise him. All right. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll get working on the overworld saves, which should be interesting. But, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.